The Premier League is back, and the table is looking unpredictable. From title challengers to relegation battlers, here's how we see the 2025/26 season playing out, from 20th to 1st. This is Final Touch FC. Let's get straight into it. 20. Sunderland. Sunderland's squad is full of exciting names: Adingra, Xhaka, Lafi, but very little balance. Regis Lebris might become a good coach, but this league doesn't give you time to find your feet. They've taken risks on flair over foundation, and with no established Premier League spine and no clinical striker, it looks like a fast return to the Championship. 19. Burnley. Burnley under Scott Parker are functional, but not dangerous. They'll work hard and defend with shape, but their inability to score consistently is a serious issue. There's no spark in midfield and no Premier League quality forward to turn draws into wins. They'll keep things tight, but this feels like a slow fade back to the second tier. 18. Leeds United. Leeds have gone big in the market, Bajol, Bornauer stack, and while they now look tougher physically, the team lacks chemistry. Farke's game model relies on control, but this side doesn't have the midfield poise or defensive organisation to manage tight games. It's a mismatch between the manager's style and the players brought in, and that usually ends badly. Well, that didn't last long. Looks like it's 3 up, 3 straight back down again. Tough league. 17. Brentford. Keith Andrews has never managed a top-flight game, and he's replacing a club legend in Thomas Frank. With Mbumo and Norgard gone, Brentford are missing their heartbeat. Kelleher and Henderson provide some defensive presence, but goals are scarce and creativity is thinner than ever. The structure and culture at the club might just carry them over the line, but it'll be close. 16. West Ham United. Graham Potter's possession-first style hasn't taken hold yet, and it doesn't quite suit this squad. Losing Kudus and potentially Paqueta strips away much of the attacking drive. And although Todibo strengthens the back line, there's little spark or rhythm in midfield. It's hard to see where the goals come from, and the Hammers are drifting into forgettable territory. 15. Everton. Moyes is back, and Everton now look like, well, Moyes' Everton. Tough, hard-working and difficult to break down. They're not going to outplay anyone, but Goodison is a fortress again. Carlos Alcaraz adds energy in midfield, and Azu is an exciting young fullback, but this team is still more grit than goals. It'll be another grind, but they'll do enough. 14. Wolves. Losing Matheus Cunha is a real blow. He was Wolves' most creative outlet last season, and no one has stepped in to replace that flair. Strand Larsen offers promise, but goals remain a problem. Vitor Pereira has instilled decent organisation, but it's another season of low-scoring draws and nervy finishes unless someone steps up in the final third. 13. Crystal Palace. Oliver Glasner's got them playing smart football, and last season's FA Cup win showed their potential. But Eze's future is the swing factor. If he goes, they lose their creative soul. Palace haven't truly strengthened this window with no incoming attackers beyond backup options, and without a proven creator or finisher beyond Eze, they're relying heavily on existing liabilities. 12. Fulham. Fulham are built on physicality, discipline and structure. Marco Silva's side doesn't make many mistakes, and they've kept the core of the squad intact. There aren't many goals in them, but they're hard to beat at Craven Cottage and will do what they always do: quietly stay well above the drop. 11. Bournemouth. Iraiola's Bournemouth continue to impress with a sharp tactical identity. They press high, break quickly, and never look passive. Evan Nilsson leads the line with mobility and link-up play, and Semenyo's development gives them a real edge in transition. Petrovic brings composure in goal, and Truffert adds dynamism on the left. It's a well-drilled, high-energy team that's fearless against bigger sides and tactically coherent in a way many mid-table teams aren't. 10. Manchester United. This is not clicking. Amorim came in with high expectations, but his system hasn't taken root. United still feel like a loose collection of talent. Mbumu and Cunha offer movement and technical skill, but the midfield is unbalanced and the defence still collapses under pressure. If results don't improve quickly, Amorim could be gone before Christmas. 9. Brighton and Hove Albion. Fabian Hersler continues to evolve Brighton's tactical style without straying from its DNA. De Cooper and Coppola are two more smart, data-driven additions, and the midfield rotation remains deep and technical. Brighton will keep dominating the ball, winning praise and upsetting bigger clubs. They're just as likely to finish 6th as they are 12th, but it'll be fun to watch either way. 8. Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs are a bit of an unknown this year. Thomas Frank should bring structure and intelligence, but he's yet to manage a game and the squad still has a few holes, most notably up front. Kudus is a brilliant signing who can break open games, and there's young talent scattered throughout, but for now they feel like a team still figuring out what they are. 7. Nottingham Forest. Forest are lightning fast on the counter, and Nuno's system suits their pacey new attackers. Jair Cunha and Igor Jesus offer serious threat, and the club is still chasing Dan Ndoye to add more width. But losing Elanga to Newcastle removes a key transition weapon, and the defence still switches off at crucial moments. They're exciting, but not yet consistent enough for Europe. 6. Aston Villa. Unai Emery has built one of the most tactically disciplined sides in the league. While the squad hasn't changed much, with Maatsen, Onana and Malen already established, their structure and pressing triggers are drilled to perfection. Villa suffocate opponents with well-timed pressure, control transitions expertly and always look dangerous on set pieces. They may not have added depth, but with better injury luck they're capable of giving any side real problems. 5. Newcastle United. Everything here depends on Isak. If he stays, Newcastle can fight for the top 4. If he goes, it leaves a massive hole up front that Elanga alone won't fill. The rest of the team, Bruno, Botman, Trippier, remain strong and well-drilled, and Eddie Howe knows how to get them firing. But without a focal point in attack, their ceiling drops. Alright, we've made it to the top 4. This is where titles are won, legends are made, and fan bases start fighting in the comments. Let's break down the real contenders. 4. Manchester City. It's a transition year for Pep's side. De Bruyne is gone, Gundogan's legs are fading, and Rodri's return from injury raises questions about whether he can hit those same elite levels again. Rinders and Cherki bring some spark, but this version of City doesn't look inevitable anymore. They'll still dominate most matches, but when they're bad, they're beatable. 3. Arsenal. Defensively, they're the best in the league. Saliba, Gabriel, White, and Miles Lewis-Skelly form a wall, and Gyökeres gives them the goal threat they missed. Zubimendi adds composure in midfield, and if they land Eze, their attack will finally have that unpredictable edge. Madu Iki's arrival from Chelsea gives them depth on the wings, and Saka continues to be their most reliable attacker. They'll go close again, but can they hold their nerve? 2. Chelsea. Maresca has built a team that finally plays like a unit. Jean Pedro links everything. Estevao and Jamie Gitton stretch the pitch, and Palmer is still the glue that holds the attack together. But it's the depth that makes them terrifying. Caicedo controls the midfield, Cucurella is thriving again, and behind the front line are waves of quality. If they add Xavi Simons, it's a title-winning squad. On paper, this is Chelsea back with a plan and serious firepower. First and champions again, Liverpool. Onslaught has transformed the shape of this team while keeping the intensity. Works is a game changer in midfield. Salah still delivers every week, and Frimpong and Kerkez offer relentless width. Ekitike adds another rotation option in attack. Not physical, but smart and mobile. And if Liverpool land Isak before the window shuts, it's over. That would give them the best balanced squad in the league. Even without him, they look primed to go again. That's the full table. Agree or disagree? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who's finishing top and who's getting the drop? Make sure to like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any uploads this season. This is Final Touch FC. See you next time.